Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. We are the middle-aged guys, and we're going to be bullshitting about the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer that was just dropped today. I am the Reverend.
And I'm Graymouse 1.
Today is Tuesday, March 28th, 2017, also known as Trailer Tuesday for a lot of the movie buffs and folks who go ahead and pay attention to that side of the industry. Admittedly, we over here, the middle-aged guys, although we like our movies, generally speaking, when we address things over this particular channel or in any of our channels, it's usually geeky stuff. A lot of Marvel stuff, a lot of DC stuff, some science fiction, some anime, some animated stuff, and so on and so forth. Okay? So today, Sony went out of their way and they dropped the second official trailer for Spider-Man Homecoming. And as of this moment in time, I'm looking at YouTube. It has 9,459,884 views. Now, this is on Sony Pictures' official channel. Okay, it has millions of other views and all the other channels that cover this stuff too. And it's sitting at 215,983 likes and 10,409 dislikes at this moment in time. This one was it was released out, I believe, less than 12 hours ago at 10 o'clock this morning. Yeah, it's entertaining to say the least, but I don't think that either of us in this particular video walked away from looking at the trailer without a bit of concern, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. Graymouse, give me your quick thoughts on what you saw in the trailer.
My quick thoughts are this. It seems like I already know the whole plot of the movie already. Did the trailer ruin the whole movie for us? That's what I felt at the end of that trailer. I was like, okay, so we know what's going on with the Vulture now. You know, Adrian Toomes. We know what's going on with him. We know what's going on with Peter Parker. You know, we've seen Aunt May. We've seen his love interest. And we've seen Iron Man. I mean, it seems to me that, and a little bit of friction in between Iron Man and Spider-Man. So I feel like the whole plot has been given away in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'd have to say that. Well, okay, we're gonna come back to that. All right. I will have to say, let me just cover the things I liked. Everything looks phenomenal. Okay, it looks phenomenal. All right. One of the things that quite a few people that I saw actually complain about online was that, where are all these kids? Dude, he's a fucking sophomore in high school. At least he looks like a fucking sophomore in high school. I mean, unlike Tobey Maguire, when he looked like he was in his late fucking 30s. When they were going ahead and they did the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, you know, Andrew Garfield, he looked like he was in his mid to late 20s when they went ahead and they did his. It was like, look, you're not going to fool me. These aren't fucking high school kids. At least these kids look like they're in fucking high school, okay? Which is fine. I like how they're handling a lot of stuff, and now it looks like, a lot of the things that are happening on screen look like they're happening on actual practical sets instead of just on green screens.
Yep.
Which was one of the things I didn't like about the Justice League trailer. And I hate to make that comparison, but they were released within 2 days of each other. It's the comparisons are inevitable. All right. But yeah, like you, and I didn't get this impression at first, but you know, after the second time I watched, after I saw some of the feedback, some of it fair, some of it not so fair about, you know, the trailer and other stuff. They could have literally removed 6 seconds of footage and 2 details that they had in that trailer, and you would not feel like everything was spoiled. Okay, you remove Iron Man showing up and helping Spider-Man save the ferry, and you remove the conversation that they have afterwards where he's like, "Give me back the suit." You remove just those 2 pieces of film. Like I said, just 6 seconds of freaking trailer. And then all of a sudden, guess what? there's this huge portion of the story that you still don't know about that, now it's like, well, just based off of that, I can kind of fill in the blanks. Look, I know Spidey's going to win at the end, but, one of the things that we're always left to go ahead and wonder about is that, okay, so what type of hoops does he have to jump through? What type of hurdles does he have to overcome on his way to winning? He's meant to be in 4 more fucking movies after this. So we know he's going to win at the end. He's not going to die. Yeah. We just want to know whether or not, how is the road going to go? How's the journey going to go? Right now there isn't any way. It doesn't look like there's any real big way that they're going to sit there and surprise us by turning left all of a sudden. I think that's pretty fair, don't you?
I agree. So let me touch on some of the things that I liked. Same thing. I think that it was more practical stages for this. I really do like the way they did the Vulture, which is awesome because it kind of pays homage to the comic, and that's kind of what he was. And he's an older chap, of course. If you, I'm really glad for that. I did like some of the sequences that they did as well, and so some of the stuff that I didn't like was like there was a couple of key plot details in there. One of them was about Tony Stark saying, "Give me back the suit," and then we know that he's going to go after the Vulture's messing with him, which he always does. And if you know anything about the Vulture actually will. I don't want to get really into the comic books because Spider-Man's is the comic book that I really followed, and I can just fill in the blanks by just knowing what the story of the Vulture is from the comic books. Although it could be different for the cinema, adaptation. But it seems like it's pretty much following what the comics did. The Vulture's gonna go after his family, after his friends, and that's just the way it is. And then the one thing that I didn't like too was that his friend knows he's Spider-Man. That kind of, again, that's the same concept that the Flash knows who Batman is. I'm like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be giving these identities away, but apparently for some reason they want to do that. What was the other thing?
Well, I will contend on that point. It's not as bad as, Batman showing up in front of Barry Allen or Bruce Wayne showing up in front of Barry Allen and then starting to throw fucking batarangs at him, just completely giving things away.
I mean, the guy was walking. Dude, Spider-Man was walking on the ceiling in front of his friend.
Yeah. Well, here's
he made a comment, dude. You're the Spider-Man?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. Okay. He's a high school kid. All right. And how many high school kids can keep a good secret?
He did in the comics.
He did in the comics, but he also, if you got to remember back then, he didn't have any friends in the comics.
I understand. Yeah.
They are kind of. I don't want to say that they're paring away parts of Miles Morales from the Ultimate series, but they kind of are, and that's just one of those things. If we're going to set up that he has a friend, I would rather somebody close to him actually know his identity than him just walking into somebody, walking into someplace without his mask on and then starting to shoot webs all over the place, announcing what his fucking identity is. That'd be different.
Another good thing, too, about the trailer that I really enjoyed was the slapstick. Peter Parker actually, or Spider-Man rather, was actually doing jokes while he's fighting. And that's straight from the comic book. He's always got some smart-ass comment while he's fighting these guys, and I noticed that, and I was like, oh, that's a nice touch. They're throwing in, he's throwing in these comic reliefs, and then even the his friend said, "So can you control all the spiders?" And then Peter Parker's like, "No," you know.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool.
yeah. I think I'm going to hazard to say that this is unfortunately with this particular trailer. Although I really enjoyed what I saw, I think looking back at it, every time I see it, I look at it more and more. It kind of tempers my own excitement for the movie more and more, unfortunately. And that's not to say that I'm not going to go see it, because of course I'm going to go fucking see it. You know, what is it? July 17th, this year. That's release date.
I thought it was July 7th.
7/7 17 or 7/17 17, something like that.
7/17.
Yeah. Yeah, it's July 7th. Yeah, you're correct. All right.
But like you said, I think that you saying 6 minutes. I'm saying they should take out like almost 30 seconds, or I'm sorry, 6 seconds rather. I think they should take out almost 30 seconds of that trailer. They should completely take out the whole Iron Man helping him, the whole thing after it. They should talk about they should take that one out where the Vulture has him in his claws and saying, I'm gonna destroy you and your family. You know, so we know that's too much information, especially for
I don't think
like me who read the comics.
Here's the thing. It's the same thing that I say to hardcore gamers when we talk about getting shit out to people. All right. The thing about this is, I know where you're coming from. Okay. I share a similar frame of reference, but I do also understand that in order for this movie to go ahead and break $1 billion, which is probably going to do, it's going to have to attract people who aren't comic book fans to go ahead and watch the movie. Okay, in which case you can't assume that they know the same thing.
True.
That's number one. Number two, guess what? We already saw the Vulture threatening Peter Parker face to face in the previous trailer. So the whole thing with him holding him in his claws and everything else, it didn't change the information that we already saw before. All right, and the previous trailer didn't spoil as much. Okay?
Yeah.
It showed off set pieces, but like since we know how the big fairy scene ends now, all right, and we know exactly the consequences of that afterwards. Yeah, that was pretty bad when it came to spoiling the movie.
I mean, and the thing is, though, it's not just us for complaining about it. There's a lot of other people that have the same line of thinking that we do. That, you know, it's like, I mean, I'm still going to go see it because it still looks like a good movie. But, you know, I feel that most of it was already spoiled. So, I mean, I'm just going to go. I got to say, though, it's not quite as explicit as how trailer number 2, Superman versus Batman v Superman. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite as explicit as that in the way that it spoiled it. But, yeah, it did. Here's the thing. Like I said, 10 minutes ago, everybody knows he's going to win, all right? He's only set to show up in, like I said, 4 more fucking movies after this. All right, so everybody knows he's not going to die. They know he's going to win, but everybody's kind of wondering, okay, how is this ride going to be? You know, what sort of hurdles is he going to jump over? What sort of hoops does he have to jump through? How many twists and turns does this roller coaster ride take? And unfortunately, it looks like they just revealed the biggest loop out of the whole roller coaster ride, which it's like, it really didn't hit me at first, but when people were like, after the first few reactions that I saw, people were saying, I think I've seen the whole movie now. I was like, yeah, they do have a very, very solid point. So, our suggestion right now, as far as the trailer goes, great trailer. Not so great for the actual movie because it looks like it spoiled something. If you're one of the few people who haven't seen the trailer yet, and if it's not playing picture-in-picture someplace on this video, all right, either up here or down here, okay, then I suggest don't watch the trailer, all right? Just stick to the previous one that they put out before. You'll be happy with that, and you won't walk away like all of a sudden 2/3 of the movie has already been spoiled for you. Okay. Any other thoughts on this one, Graymouse?
Don't watch the trailer if you don't want the plot spoiled.
Yeah, I think we could wholeheartedly agree on that. All right. With that, our bullshit about the Spider-Man trailer number 2 that was just released today on the 28th of March 2017. Once again, the movie is going to be coming out July 7th, 2017. I'm still looking forward to the movie. I'm probably still going to go. But then again, I'm a geek, and I'm a shill for this sort of stuff. So I'm pretty sure Graymouse is probably going to be right there, right next to me, watching it. And we're going to be talking about it the whole fucking time, because that's what we did with every other fucking movie we went to see. All right. So our bullshit on all of that is going to go ahead and end here. For the middle-aged guys, I am the Reverend.
And I'm Graymouse 1.
Thank you very much, YouTube, for following us all the way up to the end of the video. If you're so kind, hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment below. Like I say, with every comment that you leave, it's the start of a brand new conversation. And it doesn't matter if you agree or disagree. If it's a really good conversation, you're going to stop and you're going to think about what we're saying for just a moment in time. If you do that, we know we've accomplished more than you can even imagine. See you later, YouTube.